So for our last lesson, we're going to talk about theme. Specifically, we're going to talk about how a reader can understand the author's theme in a selection of literature. What is theme? Well, when you're talking about literature, one of the most important things you need to discuss is the central theme of the text. The theme refers to the central idea or the underlying message of the text. The theme is rarely stated blatantly in the text. Instead, the reader must usually consider the plot, the characters, and the setting to infer the theme. Well, you should remember infer from your vocabulary, and you know that it means that you're making a reasonable guess. So you're not just ballparking it, you're saying, if I look at the plot, the characters, and the setting in a work of fiction, can I reasonably deduce that this is the author's message? In a work of nonfiction like the last lecture, you're looking for the underlying message of the text. Now, while our author does state pretty clearly some key points, he also talks about what he calls the head fake. If you remember, he refers to this a couple times when he talks about his football coach. And the head fake is really the theme. So what was that underlying message that he wanted his readers to take from all of the stories and all of the advice and all of the examples? Let's talk about what theme is not. It's often confused with other literary elements such as plot or topic. However, the theme of a piece of literature is the message about people, life, and the world we live in that the author wants the reader to understand. It's the big thing. The topic, on the other hand, is just the main idea or the gist of the story. So it's not about figuring out this is what happened, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then that happened. That's the plot. It's about figuring out what we think the author thinks is the most important idea or the message that he wants us to get from the story. When we're discussing theme, we need to keep in mind that theme is not simply a word. It is a sentence. And it's important to understand that you don't have to agree with the theme to identify it. So if at the end of this book you don't necessarily agree with some of the message of the book, that's okay. You can still identify the theme and discuss the theme. Here are some examples of a theme. Money can't buy happiness. Don't judge people based on the surface. Or, it's better to die free than live under tyranny. Now you'll notice that all of these are actually sentences, not single words. And so as you read this selection and other selections, think about what you think is the main message that the author is trying to convey. Then you understand the author's theme.